Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Movie Files. Elliot back again with my weekly recap, breakdown, and review of the latest episode of Apple TV Plus Ted Lasso Season 2. We're talking episode 4, which was titled Carol of the Bells, and we're celebrating Christmas in August, and what a fun and festive episode this was, and I'm so excited to break it all down for you all. But before we dive into it, make sure you're checking me out on all my other social media accounts. If you all are new to the channel, well, welcome to the community. Consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. That way you can get the alert from when I drop new content. If you all enjoyed this spoiler discussion of episode 4 of Ted Lasso, well, make sure to like and share this video. It helps out the channel a lot, but I also appreciate all the support. And in the comments, let's talk about this 4th episode. Yes, it didn't really have, it was almost like a standalone episode. There were references to some of the previous 3 episodes, but more or less it was just a fun, festive, heartfelt episode, as every episode is. But I really enjoyed it. But let me know what you all thought about this episode, and let's have a discussion about it in the comments below. So again, not a lot going on in regards to the narrative. There is a reference to the team's record. There is a little bit of the connective tissue regarding, previous conversations with Sam and what he did with the logo and all that. But nonetheless, it's just, which a lot of TV shows do. Back when I used to watch, primetime TV, whether it was The Office or Parks and Rec or you name a show, they always have those standalone Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween episodes that have really no connective tissues to the other separate episodes. It's just kind of a standalone episode with the characters that we come to love, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And I believe, I have to recall back to my memory last year, I don't think we had a Christmas episode. I think this is the first official Ted Lasso Christmas episode, and boy, it was a lot of fun. So let's just jump right into the recap. Again, there's not a lot to go over, but I do want to highlight a couple things in regards to just, again, we opened the episode with the team celebrating Christmas and doing, the Secret Santa, and we find out where everyone's going to be doing and where everyone's going to be at during this time. We have Keeley and Roy celebrating Sexy Christmas. We have Rebecca, who's going to be hanging out with Elton John and his celebrity friends. We have Wiggins going to be celebrating Christmas with his family, but also other members of the team that don't have their family in the country. And also Coach Beard hanging out with his ex-girlfriend, but that leaves Ted. What is Ted Lasso going to do? Well, unfortunately, Ted's family, we know his situation, which this season hasn't really shined too much light on the separation and all that, and we'll see what comes of that. But right now, we just know that him and his wife are separated, but she still allows him to obviously see his son and be a father for his son, and he's going to be spending Christmas FaceTiming his son. So that's kind of where everyone's at throughout this episode. But, Ted has a moment with someone else that was very surprising. And I know a lot of you all out there have been shipping these 2 characters since last year, and that is Ted and Rebecca, and we'll talk about them here in a second here. But going back to Ted celebrating Christmas over FaceTime as he gives his son a drone, who, of course, a kid at that age is going to immediately want to play with it, which he does, but that leaves Ted by himself, and he has a brief conversation with his ex-wife. But again, he's alone, man. And again, I don't know if this show will ever tackle that relationship again, if it is just officially done, if we're going to see them come to the UK ever again. Is he going to eventually go back home eventually by the end of the show? Who knows? But I would like to explore that storyline a little bit further in future episodes. But right now we just know, again, he's in the UK coaching his team, and I don't know if she's dating anyone. That would be an interesting storyline maybe in the future. But nonetheless, let's catch up with our favorite couple, and that's Roy and Keeley, as again they're going to be celebrating Christmas, Sexy Christmas, but unfortunately is interrupted by Roy's niece, and by far the funniest laugh that I had in this episode, as she talks about she's gifted, this boy gifted her a toothbrush and mouthwash, essentially just saying her breath stinks. When Keeley smells her breath and is trying to not be rude, but just can't help it, just be like, that is the stinkiest breath I ever smelled. And Roy coming up to her and being like, listen, I've been in I can't do my Roy interpretation, my Roy voice right now, but he says, I've been in a locker room for 20 plus years with a bunch of sweaty men. I can handle anything. And when he smelled her breath and said that, I think you're dying, I was dying laughing. That was so funny. Such a good, funny joke. And their whole thing throughout the episode is going around the neighborhood to finding a dentist, which they inevitably do find. But let's catch up with the Wiggins family, which I thought was a really cool moment. Just to see all the different groups of the players coming to the house. Again, Wiggins is anticipating like maybe 1 or 2 players, but literally almost the whole entire team is at the house. Just showing you the diversity of the team and where all the people come from, and not having their families, but able to lean on these players, lean lean on the Wiggins families to be their family for the holidays. And it was just a lot of fun seeing them doing the Nerf gun shooting, the girl that comes over and the boy was obsessed with her. I just loved all the little fun stuff that happened within the Wiggins home. But let's catch up with Ted and Rebecca, as again, I know a lot of you all were anticipating this relationship. I don't think they're going to be a thing or a couple. Who knows, but I'm not going to lie. There were parts of this episode when I'm thinking that they were going to kiss, but they did not do that. We see their whole thing in the episode is just gifting people presents and being just good people. And, Rebecca wanted to be there for Ted because she knows what it's like to be through a divorce. She didn't want to be alone. She could now gift people gifts. She wasn't able to do that previous years because her ex-husband was obviously selfish, and just she was obviously a different character or a different person when she was in that marriage. So it was nice to kind of see that narrative come together. But nonetheless, we wrap up the episode with Roy's niece finding out what the reason why her breath smells, because she's taking medicine for the new cat that she has, and she has to unfortunately give up the cat. But then they go to the boy's house who made fun of her, and they do the whole Love Actually thing, which I think that movie is so underrated. But that's another story for another day. She does the whole car thing, and it was a funny bit there. But I love the moment that we end the episode with a really heartfelt moment with Rebecca and Ted and the team outside of Wiggins' house singing carols and the Santa Claus in the sky. Again, no ties to the overall narrative. Are they going to win more games? What's going on with Jamie in the mix? Seems like everyone now is embracing him with the team, but this episode, is there going to be that whole Jamie, Keeley, Roy situation? Is Rebecca and Ted going to be a thing? All that stuff didn't really play into this episode. It was just a fun one-off, and I just really enjoyed it. But I am excited to see what comes next week if we go back to that narrative of the team winning and the whole, evil Ted Lasso and all that. But nonetheless, this was a really fun Christmas festive episode in the month of August. So I really enjoyed it, but I want to know what you all thought of this 4th episode. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Did you want to go back to the main narrative? Did you enjoy this one-off? Let's discuss. And should they celebrate more holidays in this show? And obviously, we missed the Thanksgiving episode and a Halloween episode, but hey, there's some other holidays they can celebrate. Let me know your thoughts on that. But if you guys stuck around to the end of this video, I appreciate every single one of you all. If you haven't already, make sure to like, share, comment to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss any of my other content. And also, speaking of Apple TV Plus, there is a new movie that I just watched in reviews and is on my channel right now, and that is the new drama by the name of Coda. Check out that review and all my other reviews. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Hope you're staying safe, and we'll see you in the next video.